Well, the night could end here, or we could still yet have another map, which would be hard to believe considering it's 6 a.m. here. Might as well just cast all the way through to tomorrow night's best of 5. Let's just get it over with.
We just had breakfast as well, so
we did have breakfast.
Refueled, ready to go. Second map.
It's funny. I remember having dinner before going to bed too. But that's all right. This is why we're here, and we are here to see if LunatiK can come back. We're going to Mirage. Now, it's actually SKDC's map choice, and SKDC coming off the victory on Dust 2. It took them a while to get there in the end, but it was a 12-3 half. It was pretty convincing T-side, so we need to see LunatiK's T-side.
It was very convincing. It was just a matter of time, in my opinion. We knew that the CT half would be strong from LunatiK, but it just wasn't enough in the end. They just drew it out as long as they could. It went to about, 16-12 in the end, but it was only going one way. So going into the second map, SKDC's choice. They will be starting on the T side. Obviously, that's how it works. Whatever map you choose, you don't get the choice of the side. So be interesting to see how they hold this one off. I haven't seen at least LunatiK play on Mirage, so that could be interesting. Something a little bit fun coming to the party, perhaps. So Mirage is one of those maps. It's similar to Dust 2 in the ways of your CT approach. You have to utilize the AWP very well. Middle is obviously the most obvious choice for it, but obviously it gets smoked off so much in the window area. You get moved around quite a lot.
And there's two things to talk about. First is invert, again, getting the op out for LunatiK. That's going to be a big key of them getting back into this, but also, you mentioned it, mid, and how teams choose to approach it. Yes, the terrorists have to apply pressure onto it, but it's, in my opinion, more about the CTs and how they're going to play it, because there's still other approaches for the terrorists. You can still flood into B. Yes, having mid does mean opening up, kind of like cash, it means opening up the sites from the side angles becomes a little bit easier. But if the CTs don't have an answer for that mid pressure, then it becomes a huge problem. I mean, to me, my favorite default, of course, it comes down to play styles for your team and who you're playing against, but my favorite default is still one to come up Catwalk at the initial peak, one to go into connector to peak, and the op in the window, because that way, even if the op gets smoked off, they've got additional support for it, and it just shuts down so much early on. And not to mention, then you can take the guy in connector and look at underpass, and there's a very fast rotation back to A if the hit comes in.
The name of the game on this map is mid-control. That's it. It all kicks off there, so I actually agree with you there. Getting the pressure from all angles you can. They can't utilize everything there. They can smoke off windows, sure, but they can't take care of absolutely everything. There's always going to be an opportunity there. So that's definitely going to be a factor. One other thing that CTs can do is apply aggression. If they know you're favouring the A bomb side quite a lot, there's normally quite a good chance the CT can push the B apartments and get behind and start flanking there as well. That's very effective. The T's have to be very careful how they approach the set pieces as well. Obviously, going to A, it's one of the maps most common you'll see. Pretty much the same strat everyone will be running. It'll be the one where the wall of smokes come down, the bomb's planted on the edge of the bomb site, and it forces the CTs in a very difficult situation. The bomb's planted so widely in the open, it's a very difficult defuse, and it's actually key stars to actually set the tone for that tactic especially, and a lot of teams are doing it now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of set pieces from both these teams, because we've seen the T side from LunatiK. I haven't seen much from them overall in their career of CS, but what I've seen from their Dust 2 setups, they do struggle with the tactical side of things. But here we go then, going into the second map, and it's going to be SKDC on 1-0 after winning Dust 2. So a map LunatiK has to win, or SKDC will be your champions there. So here we go then.
Champions? I don't know about champions. They'll move into the finals.
Yeah, that's champions of our hearts is what I meant. Obviously.
My heart is weak at this point. I wear it on my sleeve. But we are underway. Drossel, we're going to cover off this CT spawn. And already smoke's coming out. Top of the stairwell covered. Puts pressure. Skylar's here to support, but they are running in. They haven't hit these first shots yet, so things getting interesting, and they're going to push forward. Slemmy's already on Drossel, and he's very low on HP. Luckily, Skylar's found a kill because Drossel's not going to get anything. Bomb's down as well. So it has to be a retake from the CTs. Looking decent so far. Skylar now with his third. Leaves it in a 2-on-2. Stewie's still up. That could be a problem. And Ocean, the top fraggers for the team of SKDC in the first map, still going to do some damage, and Ocean does exactly that. As does Stewie on cue. 1-0 SKDC T side.
You see, Stewie actually gave me a shout out there. He did shout out to Henry G just as he went in. So I'm actually liking him a lot more. Great tactics.
He did that yesterday too.
I know. I don't think I've met him before. Maybe he wants to be my friend.
Yeah. What's he got for you? I'm curious. Where's my love, Stewie?
Dude, no one loves you. Don't worry. Sorry.
That
was actually quite mean.
My dog does.
Well, at least you have that. But going into the second round,
Tinder does.
That's true. You can't take that away from you, Jesus. Okay, so CTs now. They have force bought this one. 3 upsets of armor for them. Not actually stacking any bombs out there. Actually, they have got 3 players towards the B area, but it's going to be difficult for them to do anything. The terrorists have got 3 sets of rifles there, 2 scouting SMGs. That's going to be quite useful for them. It allows them to go into areas like the B bomb site and get the initial calls off, get the close range confrontation settled, and then the Galils can come in after that. But we can see that it's very spread out right now. Nothing being determined so far. Just feeling out what the CTs are up to.
And the CT's up to a stack at B. Party in middle with just relics inside the window. He's falling back, taking the passive approach to see if they cross or boost and cut them off on the vents, but that leaves Drake alone in A. So even though Stewie2K has got 3 HP, things still look okay for the terrorists to come in. Drake, not surprisingly, will find him. But now it's on. And they spot the player inside A ramp, but it's a dink coming back the other direction. Slemmy goes down to 10 HP. Ocean's found Drake. Now the rotations have to come over. And there's 3 on the CT stairs. So they need to get this bomb in place soon because this could be problematic.
It's getting
And in
messy.
fact, yeah, they're going to take that. The bomb's still a Tetris even. They're going to have to take this over to the other site. Ellis will fight this and at least hold them off. Give them the chance to do it. Now they'll bring it back to 18 seconds. This is sloppy, oddly enough, from SKDC, considering the opening they had with a 3-man stack on B. Drossel, a little bit of team damage onto Skylar. Leaves him on 3, and he's going to get caught by El Samama, who survives that corner perhaps longer than he should have. But again, sloppy round from SKDC.
Yeah, the time was ticking away there. They had 2 players on full health of 5-7s, no smoke to play with, Mac 10s, and it looked like that they could have actually done that. Had they found a frag at that stage, that could have been game over for SKDC, but they do gather the round up, and it's going to be a full eco now for LunatiK, getting themselves really cleanly back into that one, and it seems like they're just going for the full-on B rush here. They've done the smoke towards middle, get a little bit of distraction there, but all 5 players now will be going into the B area. Actually not going for the rush. They're going to slow things down. All players will be over there, though, but I guess they're just going to try and work out. Again, they have got the UMP there. He can go in first and see what's available to them. That's exactly what's going to happen. In he goes, and no CT's actually going to be there whatsoever. So it's a perfect play by SKDC. The stack has come in from LunatiK towards the A-bomb site, but they will get a free round here, essentially.
Stewie's going to push forward through the market. As well, this makes things a little bit harder for the CTs to come back over to the site, and so far that's going to get slowed down as well as Skylar will get caught. Ocean, the one to do so from the top of the ladder room. Another kill for him. Dumore following in his footsteps. He's looking all right. Ocean pushing forward. So this round looking very comfortable. All 5 staying alive, stabilizing that economy with 4 rifles up. That's important. Ocean could go down. He's got the 4 kills, oddly enough. So looking for the ace. But how much money is that? I mean, so much money. 4 times 600. I'm not even going to do it in my head. It's too early in the morning. Please, Henry, bail me out.
24.
Thank you.
It is quite late, to be fair. It is 6 in the morning, so please forgive our simple friend here.
Wow. No one loves me. I'm Simple. Simple's a damn good player. I'm happy to be Simple.
That's true. We're all covered. Okay, then. Going into this one. CT side.
I'm also going to rage like he does if you make another joke like that. Come on, man.
Sorry.
All right,
I'll leave
go
you
ahead.
alone now.
Go ahead.
As I was saying, the CT side, pretty strapped for cash after that forced buy. They won't have any head armor, obviously not too bad, but the Galil could be a lot more dangerous now, and it's going to be a full-on set piece straight away from SKDC. They go into this bomb site now, and confrontation will be coming in very soon.
Confrontation is incurring, and the incurring pain comes one way and then the other as El Samama will get the trade, but they don't catch Drossel, who's on top of the bomb box. And he will make one back, but Slemmy's not had enough. He's going to find a kill, and now the additional one as the trade sways to Stewie2K. Gives the advantage to SKDC finally. And with Invert going down, the site is completely open. It's going to be a retake from Dumore, and the nades landing in the correct spot. They don't do a whole lot of damage because he's not pushed up the stairs quite so far. But he's got a bomb now down, and 2 players with good positioning to deal with. Does good damage on Stewie, who doesn't find the shot. He's also found Ocean, but 5 HP. And all Stewie has to do is sit back, bait the time, and the round is his to have. No kit as well for Dumore, so it becomes even harder to bait this out. He'll hold. He'll fake. He has to fake. No kit, he has to. And Stewie's aware of it, and Stewie will get him.
Playing him very...
Oh, Stewie.
Oh, we don't like to see that, do we? Bad manners. That's my boy as well. The shout-outs.
I now see why you're friends.
Similar people. But there we go. a very big round and convincing stuff for SKDC. They went for the straight up execute onto the A bomb site, just setting the tone for the game. It's going to be difficult now for them to get back into this one. Another full eco for them. They have got the Deagles, but actually Mirage is one of the maps where the Deagle is very effective, very long range, gets some good hiding positions as well. But the CT's now just holding on the back foot, trying to gain some sort of position in the middle. You can see that connector and short setup coming into play, but the T's playing this perfectly, keeping it very long range, 5 AKs in the hand, not giving anything away, using the buddy system well in middle, making sure no one gets dropped by unfriendly Deagle shot coming towards them.
So in they go. Stewie just checking all the angles. And the high smoke on the stairwell will push the Deagle back down. But there, how did Drossel stay in there? I even said Stewie checked all the angles. He apparently didn't catch out where Drossel was playing on the cinder blocks, and he was patient as ever to make sure he secured the kill. But now things come back around. Skylar's going to make it more problematic for SKDC. That's 2 rifles down. And now things will go as according to plan. Ape finding Skylar, leaves just Invert. And yeah, even Stewie says, where were you? He had no idea he was there. Works out well to get at least one, but the round... Invert should save this, but the round is about to expire, and I think he might anticipate saving it, but he heads to B. They're there. And he knows it now because he'll hear that bomb go down. Initial shot with no armor, so the aim punch doesn't allow him to secure the shot on Slemmy. Flash is going out. He's managed to dodge both accordingly. Crossfire setup, though, and they won't even need to use it. Ellis closing it out. 5-0 SKDC. Again, their T-side looking better than what we saw from LunatiK on Dust 2. They're going to have to get a response when they swap over at this rate because their CT has been their strength.
That's what we thought. You said every angle being covered there. Drossel is hiding in shadow. Gets away with it as well. So here we go, and this is where LunatiK need to bounce back. They have got the AWP now for the first time. Interesting enough, they're going to heap on the A-bomb side, not going towards that middle area, as we speculated before, but there's some aggression coming in middle as now. Well, this is what they need. They need to get the first frag and get some momentum in their favour.
On that high smoke, Dumore didn't find anyone as he was hoping to do. So they fall back, and the interesting thing is the way they're falling, despite that this is a gun round, they have 5 in A.
Yeah, there's no one in B.
They didn't put anyone on Catwalk to fall off, so they put the mid-aggression, but it wasn't an A player they took, it was the B player. So Drake's now just getting back there. Fortunately, there hasn't been any scouting done, which is common. You don't often put a player that forward in B because you're that worried about the truck position, but sure, it could have definitely been caught off guard right there for SKDC to take the site. And still they have a really heavy A presence. No one in window, no one on that Catwalk. It's just Drake at B still.
They're really banking on that full-on A execute. After they demonstrated on the first gun round, I think that's the call they're going for.
And look at the minimap. There's still a chance they could go back through underpass with 3 players on A, and they'll try and split the site, which means Dumore, as we see from right now, will be the player to come into contention. But they could also rush this B site if they get into A and sell the fake, and that's exactly what they're going to do, it appears, because the 2 players in B apartments are heading in right now, and Drake's inside market. This could be the perfect sale, despite that SKDC is very heavily outnumbered right now. 5 versus 2, but 2 with a free sight. Bomb going to get planted, and now Drake's aware of it. He flashes back in. Ape needs to stay alive and try and help his teammate get post-plant situation set up and established, and Slemmy's going to fight his way back into it. The retake coming from either side. Dumore already on Catwalk, spotting Ape, so they know he's at this bench, but a good shot from Slemmy. He's still alive and well. Slemmy with another one brings it back to a 2-on-2, and this sold fake rotation is going to work out right now for SKDC. How bad can things get for LunatiK? As finally it looks like they might have a round. It's not said and done just yet as they're both low on HP, but it definitely became a situation that should not have even transpired, and Invert knows the situation is grim, so he's running already. And that means Ape's left to chase. Bomb's going to go all 5. Oh, rather, Invert stays alive. I thought he would die from there, but all 5 of the terrorists die.
A 2-on-5 situation going in favor of the T's. What an incredible hold from them. Or should I say, what an abysmal retake from the CTs. When you see that happening, probably don't want to go 1 by 1 and allow them to get the crossfire set up. And you've got a 5-man advantage on them, so you probably wanted to wait. They had time. The bomb had only just been planted. Could have gone in together, got crossfire set up, and gone frag for frag. That's a horrible round for them to lose, and could have set the tone for the rest of the game now. 6-0 in favor of SKDC. They have saved the AWP. Invert is going to be in the window now, but the T's look like they're going to gain that mid-control. Smoke will be coming in very shortly. Redx does open up on the fragging though to Stewie and gives them the advantage for the first time.
A little bit of damage taken from mid on invert. Skylar's actually taking the most of it, 46, and now Ocean finding Drossel. They've opened up connector, and in they come. Slemmy now taking Skylar. Means the site is open for business as we see that initial confrontation on the replay screen down below. Drake catching bomb carrier, though. This is interesting because now it's a 2 versus 2. Ellis has grabbed the bomb. Invert's going to catch Ocean on the way out, so it's down to just Ellis. Lots of time to work with, 53 seconds. But no map control. The only saving grace is the fact that there's just 2 defenders, which means they have the decision. Do they take double one-on-ones, or do they play the buddy system?
Well, if he gets the bomb down, they haven't got a kit. So they need to make sure he doesn't plant, really. That's going to be the aim.
He's going to get to B. It's already going to be a plant.
Oh, it's going to be difficult. If he finds the first frag, goes down to a one-on-one, it's pretty much tied up at that point. Drake's going to be coming in behind him. He will get a free bomb plant, and they know it as well. You can see them coming in together.
And one coming from the angle that our camera is covering. Drake going to be first on the site. He's playing it on the site as well. So Ellis, the problem with this is that he's already got a player in market, so he can't even escape that position. Invert's made it through the window as well, and Invert with the op makes the shot count. LunatiK finally with one on their CT side. Resetting a loss round bonus, though, keep in mind.
Yeah, so that puts them in a very fragile position, obviously. Already in a horrible situation. 6-1 on the CSV half is not great at all. They need to make sure they get this next round. If they do lose this round, it's going to put them in the worst economic situation you can be in. They'll be double ecoing a CT. And here we go then. 5 AKs from SKDC. I wouldn't be surprised if it did something very fast and audacious this time. Maybe that first set piece we saw them do, or even a straight-up B rush would be quite cool in this situation as well. They've got a nice bed to play with. They can get away with some cheeky tactics.
Well, Invert has the op still. Smoke's short on Catwalk, not in the window, so even if they shuffle across, he'll have some vision. That nade, though, does come in. He manages to dodge that. But it's Drake, and that's what we talked about early on. The default to have a secondary play at mid allows him to pick up those 2 kills from Catwalk, and things starting to slow down now. As again, no smoke on window. Invert able to get the repick. Ape now down. It's left to a 2 versus 5. We've seen this before, but this time they don't have a bomb site to work with.
No, and there's going to be a foregone conclusion. As I say that though, Ocean does pick up a frag, but now it goes down to a 4-on-1 situation. Slemmy on 3 HP. Drossel will draw it out.
And a very important win, as we mentioned, the round loss bonus, but also that they only lost 1 player. They'll start to shift the economy. Very good lineup for Drake.
Yeah,
it couldn't have gone any better for him.
You're absolutely right there, because it actually has forced SKDC onto an eco themselves. Had they lost that one, they would have been looking down the barrel of a double eco at CT, and when you're 6-1 down, that would have been terrible for them. So SKDC now have got some Tech 9s. They haven't committed to this fully. 2 players of armor. They have got some smoke grenades as well. Normally, most teams in this situation, they'll do full wall of smoke onto the A-bomb site. Not necessarily to win the round. It will become quite close. They'll get the bomb down at least. But it's whether the CTs can hold it off correctly.
Shot. Not able to be successful, but look at the nade damage. Drossel picking up 1. Skylar able to get the assist on that. Not to mention to kill before it as Drossel getting Slemmy means this anti-eco the anti-eco looking successful. The eco not doing too much at all. Ellis has picked up the M4, doing decent damage to Invert, but he manages to stay alive long enough for Dumore to come in. And it's 3 straight for LunatiK.
Yeah, that's what they needed. The money now flowing quite nicely to them. They can afford to do some different pieces now. Maybe show some aggression themselves, move that AWP around. He's shown a lot of presence towards middle. I'd like him now to go towards the B apartments and go for that first frag up there, allowing them to play 1 player up there. Perhaps that would be a nice change of pace for them, but he will stay in the middle area. He's been playing that reasonably well so far. The last 3 rounds, he actually is going to change it up a little bit. He's going to try and push himself up and misses the jump.
So good on the first jump, and then he messes up the simple one. Unfortunate. I like to see good movement mechanics.
I like to see bad movement mechanics.
I like to see B taken. Dumore is going to be the one to spot it. Goes for the jump, dropping out the fire, still leaves the window open, and that's where Stewie tries to head, but Dumore plays this perfectly. He played so well last evening. Tonight we haven't seen much from him in the first map, but starting to come alive. And Drake now with his double leaves Ocean, and Dumore finding him as well. Thank you very much, Dumore. It's going to be 6-4.
Yep, 4 in a row now for the CTs. This is a great comeback from them. If they win the rest of the rounds, put it back to 9-6, it's actually not a bad half for them whatsoever. So if they can keep this powerhouse up, we know their CT sides can be very strong. We've seen it on Dust 2. They can have these comebacks, so don't count them out of this one yet. It's going to be yet another eco from SKDC, not opting to force out with armor. Got 1 smoke to play with, and you can see them getting that control towards middle again. I guess they'll be smoking up the short area like that, yes. And hopefully they're going to be looking for a frag. Drake is going to be in the underpass there.
Drake gets shot down in the underpass, though. even though he tried to get cheeky, because the pistol jumping around from Elsamama is more than sufficient. Elsa's left on 4 HP, though, so it's, in some ways, a 2 versus 4, but then again, a presence on the map in CS is often enough. He needs to get rid of that M4, potentially throw it over to Ocean right now, because he's the high HP player, and actually he's going to give it to Stewie, because he's closer by. So Stewie now, with 54 HP, has a gun. Skylar going to hold connection. Ocean's got bomb. He's lurking inside Palace. The problem is there hasn't been any opening from the terrorists to make that viable yet, because Drossel's still staring at Shadow. And they want to do this from middle, but that's covered off. They don't have invert in the window, but Skylar's going to spot this any second because there's no smokes. Is he, though? He doesn't take the peek. I mean, it's all for naught, essentially, because the bomb's still on A.
Yeah, I think
but it starts to potentially cause a rotation.
Trying to get some sort of distraction here towards the B area. They just want to get the bomb down now. Dumore will be waiting for them, and maybe he'll be calling the CTs out here.
And the boost doesn't work. They tried to get Stewie actually in the window, but he loses out at Vent. Elsamama with the 4 HP does manage to get Dumore. Ocean, how does he win that duel? Skylar needs to hit that shot. Luckily, Drossel shuts down Ocean before the bomb gets in play. And it's left to the 4 HP Elsamama, and he gets caught by invert.
That was kind of unlucky. I thought he was going to get the bomb down. He got spotted by about a pixel, I think, as he came out of Palace. But does not get the bomb down, unfortunately, for them. But they will have a reasonable buy here now. It looks like they may be considering an AWP. Ocean yet to buy. He won't get one out. It's going to be 5 AKs again. And ever since Invert has actually picked up the AWP, he's been a defining factor for them. He's getting the essential picks. And I think he's been pivotal in getting these 5 in a row for them. So he's been playing that situation very well. This is a round that works quite nicely for SKDC. A full-on execution off the bat. It's not really traditional or advised. You want to get map control first, but they're going straight in again. This is the first gun round they did win, so it looks like they're going to try it again and see whether they can recreate that magic.
Drake, Drossel, Skylar, they're all toward the A side, and Invert's going to rotate to CT stairs early, so they'll have a good defensive presence, and Skylar already showing that off by finding Stewie. Drossel trying to find a way to see above that smoke. It's the wall of smokes. We haven't seen this exact iteration of the A execution, but Skylar getting Palace puts a lot of pressure on them to get that bomb down, and not only get that bomb down, but win that duel against him, because post-plant situations will go his direction. They won't even get the post-plant, and it's going to be all him. Getting the Palace, shutting everything down.
Yeah, that all came down to Skylar. As soon as he saw the execution and the smokes coming over the top of the rooftop, he pushed into apartments, and that was so important. He needed to gain some sort of position back, got in there, got himself a great position, and as they were executing onto the side, they kind of forgot about him. He got many picks from there, one towards the steps area, then came out and shut down the last 2 players as well. That was all Skylar, and that's 6 in a row for LunatiK now, drawing things out of 6-6. All of a sudden, they've come alive, and they're back into this one.
Gun's still up, though, with that lost round bonus for SKDC, despite no bomb plant. Potentially an op could have come out if they got that, but they'll live with the rifles. Drake going back to that early aggressive peak on Catwalk. We saw him get a double in this position before. I still want to see smokes on this window, and I'm not sure if it's that they don't have one in their repertoire. I can't imagine that's the case. It's something every team needs to rely on at this level, but they haven't been getting it in on invert, and as a result, he's going to pick up yet another kill. Or rather, excuse me, make it 2 now. There's the late smoke, but that's thrown from Horseshoe, and he already had the shot lined up, so he just fired. Wrong timing for Elsamama.
Perfect timing from him. That was really impressive. I think the team was expecting that as well. It's a great mind game from both of them, but Invert gets a shot through the smoke and almost secures that round for his teammates. The call from Dumore now, the players were going towards B, the rotations will come in, and this should be a pretty easy cleanup for them.
Dumore's got the pressure on him. He succeeded in the last time he was tested. So far, this time he's going to do the same. Nice reaction shot on Slemmy, because Stewie looked like the intended target. He's on 17, so his life's not safe. His moments are numbered unless something magnificent can occur, and it's not. It's Drossel and LunatiK. It took a while to get there. I said that this CT side had not looked traditional for them. Now it's looking a lot better. Yeah,
very strong for them now, and you look at the money as well. Invert sounds $16,000. He couldn't be richer if he possibly tried. So
I'm waiting for the VAC spam after that.
They're going to be absolutely fine. They've got money now for the remaining rounds, and you can see SKDC, they will be forcing the issue here. Their lost money bonus is absolute maximum. So this is really good from LunatiK, and it's night and day compared to the first 6 rounds. So amazing stuff by them getting back into this one and taking the lead now for the first time. And this one should be another round in the bag, considering the buy that SKDC have brought to the table. Looks like they'll be doing another A execute. All 5 players here. This is what I'm talking about. The CTs have pushed up. They know exactly what's coming. They've pushed to B apartments, and the call will be coming in that there's going to be an A. It has to be. They know exactly. Look at the guy in T-spawn. He's all the way through. It's going to be Drake right behind them, picks up a frag, and now it's all going to fall apart for SKDC.
And smartly, he's going to fall off of that as well. So not only buying that first kill, getting a ton of information, but also just stabilizing it to make sure that they don't kill him, get the trade and then rush to his spot because they're going to put so much emphasis on A as a result of it. He's going to go to Catwalk. He'll just get around the corner before Stewie gets back there. But Dumore's pushing up. And it's Dumore. Oh, dinked up initially, so it's only going to be the one Ocean able to trade it. But a kill on Stewie is always a good thing to have. As Drake's initial intention of going for the peak gets slowed by that flash. Still a man advantage. And Drossel knows that after that early pick in the rotation, there's a lot of chance there's going to come toward B. It's normally Dumore. He's gone. It's left to Drossel. And so far, that initial Molotov does a good job. That bomb's dropped on top of the van now as well, so I don't even think he saw it, but it makes things awkward.
Oh, that was kind of awkward towards the end there. I think they're running out of time. Had 20 seconds left on the board. Great use of utility by the CTs at the end there. They've had flashbangs and they forced the team to run out through their own smoke, and it was just like shooting fish in the barrel towards the end there. So very nice round from LunatiK. 8 in a row for them now. Going into the final one, SKDC do have a full buy, but in terms of the grenades they have available, 3 smokes, that's about it. Nothing else to go with. And it looks like Invert getting set up again. Drake getting in the underpass area. As I say that, though, he goes up middle. They're showing some aggression. All 5 players again over towards A. This hasn't worked for them so far.
Skylar's going to try and get Palace again, too. We saw what happened last time he did this. And you talked about potentially getting these 9 rounds back in a row to save the half. Well, it's a possibility as round 15 is starting it and already into a 4 versus 4. Drake, excellent play, but it's Invert to go down. Slemmy getting forward, and now it's another shot from Ocean all the way to the back of CT stairs. This makes things hard because Drake's on 5 HP. Oh, he's not sighted. Ape doesn't see him. He's flashed up. Does he turn back in time? Great reaction. Good composure. They hold on, and I think that Drake was also partially blind because he ran by 2 of them. Left to Dumore, and those shots rattling off will give away his position. 8-7 is where we end up, but not a bad comeback at all by LunatiK. It might have just been a little bit too little too late.
Wow, what a half that was. So we had 6 in a row for SKDC, then 8 in a row for LunatiK, and then they managed to draw out the final round. They've been trying to execute to no avail, really, throughout the campaign, and that last one was quite scrappy towards the end. It could have gone either way, but they did do it, and yeah, that last round was pretty exciting. So do we think 7 rounds is enough going into the CT half?
That's a cap at the bottom of the screen right now, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a kappa. Did you see it?
I missed it, so I'm trying to work out what
it said that it was T-sided map.
Okay.
It's a kappa.
Oh, you mean a joke?
Yes.
Can't we just say a joke?
He didn't put kappa on it even though it's Twitch. See? There it is. I'm just kappa-ing it for him.
Can't you just say joke?
No. I want the chat to be littered with kappas. All right, continue with your analysis. I apologize.
Oh, I've lost my train of thought now, haven't I? So anyway.
I'm good at killing that.
Going into the next half, the question I asked you was, do we think 7 rounds going into CT is enough? This is their map, remember, so presumably they're going to be strong armsing this side. It's obviously the favoured side, but will it be enough?
The map's definitely getting more and more recognition for equalizing in terms of score lines. It used to be so CT-sided at one point, but it's coming back, and I think 8-7, 9-6 is exactly where the scoreline should end up, so there's definitely a possibility. I mean, looking at it from a traditional sense, there's definitely a possibility. LunatiK's T-sides tonight have been abysmal. Actually, I shouldn't say just tonight. Tonight, one map we've seen, but also last night.
Yeah.
We saw a huge issue on Dust 2 against a Pug
You're
team.
absolutely right.
That was Dust 2, though. If that trend continues, then yeah, this lackluster start on this first half will catch out LunatiK.
I think LunatiK probably needed 11 or 12 rounds, right?
I mean, that's a stretch. We haven't seen this map. I think 9 to 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. If they can win the pistol and get a solid start, win the first gun round on top of that.
Do you know why I'm saying that?
Why are you saying that?
Because the map they picked us to, their T-side was shaky at best. It was pretty bad. So a map they haven't picked and being forced to play on, you got to question yourself, how good their T-side going to be on that one, on something they didn't even pick. So that's what I was trying to... The point I'm trying to make is the maps they picked, they didn't have a very successful T campaign. But we won't go straight into it. It seems like we will be waiting for something though. But so far it's been pretty exciting. Very back and forth, obviously. 6 in a row, then 8 in a row. Final round going to SKDC. And as I mentioned before, this is their home turf. They picked this map. And we'll be looking to get things going. Pistol obviously will be very important. It was SKDC that picked up the first one. Will they be able to get 2 in a row? Yet to be seen.
I'm wondering what our delay is here.
I'm connected to 7. Let me investigate.
I don't see. Oh, one went to the bathhouse. Bathroom.
Bathhouse.
I thought he said bathhouse. I wouldn't call it that either, but I thought that's what he said. I misread it.
I thought I was like some Americanism I wasn't aware of. Oh, there's the Kappas.
Yeah, we have a 2-minute delay, so the Kappas have just shown up to us now.
The Kappas.
Look at this. They're drawing the bathhouse. This is where one of the players from
Traditional Canadian bathhouse.
Yeah, this is where one of the SKDC players is. But we'll get things back underway. Map is starting up as we can see the countdown taking place. This is a well-drawn house.
Don't.
I would live there.
It wasn't well drawn. It was average at best.
Let's see you do better.
Yeah, well, give me an opportunity. I'll do it right now.
I'm not giving you a
late.
chance.
We're getting back into it.
Oh, you dodged that one, didn't you? Tech 9 up for Dumore. P250 for Drakens, the rest on Glocks. They've got armor on 2. So they've gone for an interesting setup in the fact that they picked up 3 flashes and a single smoke, but it won't matter if they can't execute with it if they're all dead. As Ellis and Slemmy will combine to collect 2 frags. It's going to be Drossel responding. Smokes now do get deployed. That single smoke will cover off a good portion of the retake. But Slemmy, he's got to get this reloading quickly because 17 HP, and he's going to be pursued by Drossel. Eventually drop bombs planted. So this retake has to happen, and there's no kit. Stewie's on 2. This could work out for LunatiK. And we mentioned the start they would need after not getting as many rounds as you would have hoped on their T side. Nice shot by Stewie, so that 2 HP might do it. And if he can hold off this retake, there's a chance Invert gets that kill. Low HP for Ape. He couldn't hold it. He had to hold it.
10 HP between them, no kits. It was a great start for them. It was when Drossel came up through the connector and rushed them towards jungle. That's when it fell apart for them. That was a very clever move from them. They got the communication down well. He went in there, killed one, isolated another, and they got the bomb down. And with no kits, it was almost impossible for them to retake. But as we say that though, 2 scouts are out for the CTs, and this is a map that does favour the scout. There's lots of jump shooting opportunities, especially towards B apartments as well. And the Ts are aware of that, taking this very slowly. Have got 4 rifles in hand. And a Mac 10 for the scouting as well. You can see them all going towards the B area as well, perhaps jumping out, making their way with the Mac 10. There is one player anchoring towards the A apartments as well. That's going to be Drake, perhaps getting a little distraction over there before they execute onto B.
And there's going to be a confrontation immediately outside of Palace as Ocean. He's waiting for Drake's arrival. They've also got Ape down below. He's not in shadow, despite what you may think from that from the X-ray. He's actually on the opposing side of the cinder blocks, up close to the A connector. And he's actually going to scout the ramp right now. Flash goes in. Now Drake knows he's got company close, but fortunately, Ocean's not stupid. He's going to run back on that. Good shot from Drake to find Ape. A has a potential opening, and Skylar, who's lurking over at B, finding 1 kill, is going to slow things down on the retake as well. Invert's going to go to plant this bomb. Stewie and Ellis, I dare say, it's just a matter of time. So LunatiK going to double digits first.
Absolutely. Going to try and save some scouts.
I love that.
And this is like I'm talking about. There's so many opportunities with a scout here to be sneaky, getting more damage off as well, but they will both go down there. Drossel takes them both down, actually. So very good stuff from them. Pretty clean round from LunatiK. Getting themselves in the double figures, as you said. It's going to be a full eco now from SKDC. LunatiK will be aware of that as well. So as long as they do something pretty smart and don't go in one by one, they should be absolutely fine here. Not much SKDC can do. Maybe they can push up middle or stack an area. If they play this like a normal round, it's really not going to amount to anything for them. And they will indeed
push. This is a very fast push onto B. Push as well, though, like you say, from the CTs in toward middle. They'll be able to wrap quickly onto Catwalk. Lots of flashes over the top. As they'll find the site vacant, but soon to be potentially evicted. As the landlords of the counter-terrorists want their land back, and Invert's going to have to cover off this Catwalk, smartly so with the Molotov. That'll go beyond where the smoke is, extinguishing part of it. But a nice retake. Good boost up. Slemmy able to take down Invert. Stewie's found the apartments back. Stewie's going to get that gun, take down Drossel. It's looking good right now for the eco round as it comes to a 2-on-2. No armor for the counter-terrorists, but the weapons are up. And Stewie winning a battle against Dumore. Skylar now finds himself 1-on-2. Slemmy's going to hold this. He does get taken down. And just in time for Skylar to close out the round. LunatiK dodging a bullet with that round. And SKDC will now have guns, but they're very limited on what they're going to have for utilities and kits.
Yeah, as you said, the angry landlords wanted their bathhouse back as the B Bombsite, and they came very close to doing it. It was a great situation for them, going from full eco to getting it to a 2-on-1 situation in their favour as well. Fantastic stuff from them, but it was a pretty easy clutch in the end for Redix because he had the advantage, no kit, and he knew they had nothing to play with. So it's going to be another run on the board for LunatiK. The first real gun round, though, but after all those 4 spies, again, CTs don't have an AWP going into the first gun round. They need to make sure they stay on the back and play a little bit more passive here. But as we say that, though, Dumore and Drossel open up the fragging, and it's going to be a 4-on-3 now.
Late smoke. Thrown into connector, forcing Ape back into jungle. Gives a bit more room inside mid. The response, though, is that Ocean's pushed up to the corner on Catwalk just to make sure they're not going to push because it's not going to be spotted from Connector. So by him getting a little bit more aggressive, get some information, potentially work out some kills. That's what Ape's now going to do because that smoke has a slight gap above it. So he's able to control the Catwalk, buying Ocean space, which means he can stay deeper inside the B site, call for the rotation, and Invert won't have the same entry from the apartments right now. So this looks good, and Stewie's not going to over-rotate as well for SKDC. He'll stay toward A just in case they wrap back through mid. Although with time expiring and not much indication of what the T's are up to, it also means that Ape has to start to second guess and be ready to help out his teammate at the far side of the map. Instead, he'll find Invert. That's vision. That's information. And 23 seconds. It's going to be commitment. It has to be commitment. And Stewie and Ocean have each found a kill. And it's left to just Invert at the van, rather, and the op down.
Yeah, it's a good round and the first one for the CT campaign of SKDC. Had they have lost that one, they could be going down 5-0 on this side of the map, and it would have been very dangerous for them. So this is one they wanted to win. You can see, look at the economy of the T's now. This is a chance for SKDC. This is their pick. We're expecting big things from them, their CT side. So it's going to be a small force buy from the T's there, like PT-50, some armor in there as well. There is a smoke to play with. And they are getting players towards middle, so maybe smoking off the short area. It looks like a B split, perhaps, but most of the players in the B apartments now, with the bomb included. Actually going towards underpass, actually. That's the
This is going to be a fast push.
Me.
That's okay. It does that from time to time, but it may not deceive Ape because he's already spotted them. Slemmy actually is the one to get the kill with the pistol, but Ape did the initial damage. Ellis also in there, and Ape has to reload just before he can collect another kill as Invert still waiting in that corner. He's in a dilly of a pickle. Skylar does get one back into El Samama. That brings it a little bit closer, but Ocean's now dropped the bomb, and Skylar and Invert are still trapped up inside middle. No aggression as well from the CTs. They'll just hold the choke points. There's no reason to overextend and try and take these fights. So Invert's taking the bomb back to Horseshoe. All that really is going to do is draw this round out a little bit longer because Stewie and Ape are still inside A, and Stewie's actually going to push toward that A ramp, which means he'll catch him in rotation. Skylar's going to wait for him to get there. They want to split this site, find a bomb plan out of it. Oh, it may work. Stewie's gone toward A ramp, and look where Invert went. He's in Palace, so they've passed each other, which means if Skylar does take Ape, there is a chance for this bomb plant. Stewie's coming back, though, and they haven't come out of the exit. There it is, Skylar and Ape. That goes the way of Ape, so it's going to be impossible for Invert to come out. Stewie's looking the wrong way, but the shots will rattle into him, or will they? Invert, so smart. The ninja to get in play, and Stewie's going to hear it. He's got it bombed down. Very well done by Invert.
Yeah, I don't even know how he managed that one. 4-on-1 situation, Glock in hand, and somehow manages to plant. That's the best he could have hoped for.
That was good trigger discipline is what that was, because Stewie was looking at Connector.
Yeah, and look at the money. It's not great right now. That boost of $800 for them, that was really vital. That would actually get them in a much better position as well. So that's great for them. And now, this is where it gets real interesting. The CTs have the AWP. Not going to have the same thing in the T camp, but they do have a full buy now. Smokes, some Molotovs in there as well, but let's see how this one goes down. It seems like a more passive setup. 3 players going towards the A site, and maybe they'll be going for a set piece of their own. We're yet to see them do it. They've been working off picks mainly so far, but 4 players over there now and 1 person towards B. He'll be the one trying to get some attention for himself.
That nade over the top. Perfect angle to see how much damage it does. Not a ton, but a little bit on a 3 players. Just enough to be a nuisance. With these AKs looking to find the entry, Dumour's going to lurk from the underpass. He'll try and open up the site. Ellis is coming back into the window. How much for that dog in the window? The one with the M4. I had to look and see what gun he had. I actually didn't know it off the top of my head. Slemmy's going to open things up from Ticket Booth. But good response. Drake able to kill that player at CT stairs means that if they can smoke off jungle, there's a good chance. But first they have to deal with Stewie, who's still inside the shadow, and Ape's going to eventually drop down. Dumour actually doubling up, finding El Samama as well. That makes things a lot more probable, but Stewie gets on Tetris, which is an off angle, and they don't spot him up coming from Palace. It's down to the one-on-one. Dumour, very low on HP, that smoke. Gonna give him coverage to get to the bomb site, but the Molotov could actually do enough as he tries to hold this plant. He's down to just 14 HP, so the 1M4 shot from Ocean will do it. Doesn't have a kit, but he's got time to let those flames extinguish before he has to get on the defuse, and they've already done so.
Yeah, I think that one-on-one was already over in that situation. He had such low HP, and Ocean knew where he was as well. Just getting the bomb down was almost all he could do in that one. But there we go, and that's going to be 3 in a row now for SKDC. After losing the pistol, they're clawing this one back. One more, and they're back into it properly. They get to draw things out. this is where it gets difficult for LunatiK, right? They've got pretty shady money. They've got 3K on 2 players, 4K on everyone else. Their players so far hasn't been so good on the gun rounds, haven't really been able to get into it so far, but they go to answer back 2 Galils, 3 AKs now. But it'll be interesting how they approach this one. They need to find a round somewhere, maybe get an early frag. Maybe something a bit quicker would be working for them. Getting into the B bomb site fast perhaps could be good, but let's see what happens now. The AWP is on AP, he'll be in that connector area, trying to get some information for his team.
Made through smoke. No one on the receiving end. So SKDC starting to claw back into this big round right now.
This is
for
after
the
that
terrorists.
first pick as well. It looks like, look at Invert. You can see him. They're setting up for a proper B set piece now. They've run out of ideas. Let's just try this out, see what happens for them. 5 on 4. It's going to be very telegraphed as well. Smoke's flying all over the map, but here we go then. The execution does come into play.
And Ellis puts out the fire at exactly the time they want to go, so they have to smoke that off. And now they're going to look to drop out the window, but he's waiting immediately below it. So if they go, they'll fall into his crosshair. Drossel getting an entry on Ocean makes it possible, and what a shot from Skylar as he makes it into the site. Now the tables have turned. Ape needs to find the kill with the op, but the bomb's already planted in a must-win round for LunatiK. The rotation's coming over. It's Slemmy that's the first to arrive on Catwalk, and Stewie with the first shot to come in successfully. But the rifle's down in market. Ape has to switch to the pistol. Unfortunately, Slemmy's finding it, but Ape needs to find a bigger opening. That's a small gap, a very tiny fraction of the site to try and cover off. And now that Slemmy's gone, there's no chance at all. Invert closing it out. LunatiK dodging what potentially could have been disaster to the economy, and still look how tight they are.
That was all down to Skylar's drop shot. He's falling down from the window, somehow found a 1-bullet AK onto the defending CT, and that really did define the round for them. And what a round it was to win as well. Look at the CT economy now. They're going to be forced to eco. It's going to bring things potentially to 13-10 in favor of LunatiK on the unfavored side of Mirage. This is SKDC's map. They need to make sure they win the next one, or they're going to be in a lot of trouble indeed. The money situation for them now isn't great. It will be a pretty good buy next round. They just need to make sure they can take some T's down with them to maybe stabilize things a little bit going into the next one. But here we go then. A pretty standard round with the CTs. Ape does go down first to the hands of Drake. But the bomb is still playing pretty passively here. They're not really sure how they want to approach this one.
2 more coming from underpass. Hoping Ocean gets a little bit too aggressive. I mean, how much that last round meant. Because LunatiK have a chance to spread this back into a 13 situation, and that might just be enough. Can give up a few other rounds, but just so much closer to the finish line. And a potential map 3, which will come again on Inferno. But let's not get too far ahead. It's SKDC on the CT side. Execution now on to B. It's an open site. They've stacked up A, so they'll get a bomb plant, likely get the round. But where they've just picked up a very fragile round, if they could do damage to the economy. Okay, well, that's not even happening with Skylar cutting off middle. If they could do some damage to the economy, it would still work favors for them in the end. Unfortunately, it's just Slemmy 1 on 5, and he's way over at A, so LunatiK are going to start to pad themselves here.
Yeah, but he can't really do anything here. Not even be able to get an execute. I think they actually spotted him, so he's only got a 5-7 to save. He's not even worth the terrorists hunting him down, really. Looking at their money, they can't afford to lose anyone, so I would just advise leave him alone. Let's not even go near it. Stave our guns up and make sure we have enough going into these potential dangerous rounds where SKDC will answer back. So now we need to work out, as SKDC, how we can get the momentum back in our favour. 13-10 for LunatiK, and you see they flew. Oh, they didn't even... Slemmy didn't even get the kill there. He did all the damage, but the bomb took the frag. So there it is.
Robbed.
Yeah, so now they go into it. See, the CT money is not great. They will be able to get buys and rifles and armor there. No head armor, of course. They need to make sure they get the equipment over that. Abe, considering his buy right now, he will get the FAMAS. But Invert does have the AWP. He's been very pivotal with it this game. And they know they're in the advantage right now. They can do stuff quite fast. Try and use Invert as much as possible.
So flashes going both directions. Stack for Slemmy. We haven't seen this approach to mid, and it may actually work out because they walk into the cubby this time, and Slemmy finding Drake. He also had a chance to catch Dumore, but as Dumore realizes his teammate goes down, he steps back just a little bit. They'll reconvene and now get re-aggressive. Oh, Ape. There's a rafter there. Unfortunately, that means Dumore gets the kill. It could have gone the other way so easily. And very low HP as well for Slemmy on A site, so LunatiK might be able to pick up 14 here if they're careful and calculated about choosing their destination, because the A site's definitely at a disadvantage right now. And they are rotating Invert and Dumore back through T-spawn in that direction. We'll see if Ellis is going to respond as he works toward market. Bomb still with Skylar at mid, so the option could be to split if this initial take gets shut down.
Yeah, they definitely will. Also, the A split coming in from Connector now, just biding their time. They haven't got any smokes to play with, though. It's going to have to be straight up fragging required. And
Drossel finds the low HP Slummy, putting a lot more pressure on Stewie, who slid into the site. No man's land. Skylar just has to walk up the stairs. I'm not sure Stewie's thought pattern. Hopefully, looking for that pick to come a little bit sooner from the A ramp. It never gets there. And already the save being conceded by SKDC. So LunatiK have not only picked up the round that gave them all the economy to work with, they're now going to pick up this one, 14. We talked about how their T sides have been a little bit lackluster. It's starting to be just enough here in this one. SKDC go back 2 rounds, and this could be their game instead.
Yep, so they took the pistol, got 3 on the board, then lost 3 after that. But now, with these 2 convincing rounds, make it 3 with this one, they're actually looking pretty strong, and their fragging abilities much more improved than it was in Dust 2 as well. 2 players saving for SKDC, that's going to be very important. They go into this round with about $2,400, I think it is, going into this, and they're going to save 2 guns. So they potentially will be able to do something with it, but it's going to be very difficult for them to even decide what to do. Like, it's potentially match point next. They have saved 2 M4s, but just look at the cash. That's $2,400 I was talking about. How do they approach this one? They can drop a gun there. Well, they're going to have to force this, I think. Like, they need to make sure they get into it. Potentially something a little bit more aggressive this time. They haven't got any kits to play with. Actually, Stewie has got 1, but I would recommend trying to find the first frag and lock something down before it happens to them.
So the force is weak. It's not ideal. The CZ75 for Ape. Where does he play with it? He's actually going to stay at jungle. That's a pretty important spot to cover off the top of Connector with a weapon like that. So he's going to have to be extremely smart and calculated on his peaks. 2 scouts heading over, and I don't mean scout the weapon. I mean reconnaissance players, if you will, inside the B apartments right now to see what the activity will be. The bomb, meanwhile, is over toward a ramp. And Ocean's the one who will meet that early aggression. I don't want him to make this call too soon, but it looks like he's already got Ape on a rotation. So this will mean that LunatiK have a great chance on A. They're definitely forcing the hand right now of the CTs with their executions. Ape, though, is a little bit wise to it. He's going to go back and join Stewie 2K on the CT stairs. 2 smokes already out on A, and the aggression. That's just a lurk. Now, this is the tail. Will they over-rotate on this, or will they stick at A? And, in fact, LunatiK's realize they've got that pick. They're actually going to go to B. And Slummy, realizing now that no one's come through, means he'll get back on his horse, but the 2 kills coming the other way gives the advantage back to SKDC. This round is by no means given to either side. There's still going to be a lot of pressure on this B site, and Ellis has to be the one to shut it down. Finding Drake, good start. Bomb still up. It's in Drossel's hands, but Drossel is also so close to tempting fate right now as Ellis is going to spot him and bomb down. SKDC doing just enough to wrap up the round. A smart force. They don't meet match point. It's stuck on 14.
So you had to think that LunatiK actually tied that one up. Doomore got that first pick in the B, like you said, on the lurk as well. It was all looking great for them, but I feel like he overcommitted there. He got himself into the bomb site. When he's on 10 HP, he couldn't afford to die. He was the anchor, the linchpin of the whole round. As soon as he went down in that bench area, the bomb site allowed the CTs to get back into it, and they got the kills, and they stopped the rush before he even came to the bomb site. So huge round in the context of the grand scheme of things. So here we go then, 14-11. And it's going to be a full buy from both teams now.
Skylar's expecting this smoke to be successful, so he needs to be careful on that peak because Slummy has a gap. And a gap could be just enough in a game that's this close. In a series that LunatiK want to get back into, down 1 map already. Slummy's inside ladder, so they've got double presence at mid. In fact, triple on Catwalk if you include El Samama. That means A's a little bit weaker. Obviously, with Ocean all the way back over toward the B apartments, and that means Stewie 2K is going to have to find something. But the mid aggression is the right call because that's where the aggression is from the T side. They've also spotted Drossel. They may not have spotted Doomore, though, who's managed to sneak out and inside that connector, and that means Stewie's going to have problems. But Stewie's found the first kill. That's important. Ellis now on Doomore, and SKDC need only 2 more kills to wrap up the round. But they're going to lose 1 extra man in trying to make that happen, and Invert's going to try and put the bomb down. It's back to a 2-on-2 as Drossel finds Ellis in rotation. Ape can slow down Drossel, but he's going to stay toward mid. He's anticipating another rotation. It's not going to happen. Ocean's already made it through the CT spawn, and Invert's going to be the one to stare down at him, and Invert with the op. It's going to potentially go to match point. Ape's got a heck of a job ahead of him. 100 HP to try and do it. Drossel's low, so he'll find that shot, but Invert is in a great post-plant situation. Bomb's not planted for him. Flash goes out. Ape's got the kit. Ape's going to hold. Does Invert make it around? He's flashed up. He's not going to. Ape is going to pull this off. It's going to be 14-12, and does he lose the op afterwards? Slow draw speed to the CZ. Can't do it. But importantly, the round goes to SKDC.
That was huge. What a plant that was as well. Had it been any other area apart from there, he would have won the round. It was so tied up for them. Amazing comeback from LunatiK to even get into that situation, but the balls of SKDC to actually go for the full diffuser in a one-on-one situation. Amazing stuff, and that was a run they had to win. Look at the economy on the T side now. Luckily enough for them, they did see it save the AWP, so that's what they have to work with now. They can't afford to lose the first pick, and Slemmy picks up 2, and it's really good stuff from him, and they do seem to fall back now and just make sure they guarantee this round for themselves.
Stewie a little bit forward inside A this time. As SKDC finding the last rounds in spectacular fashion. I like the respect between these two teams as well. A lot of chat giving credit where credit is due for nice shots after the round. And Slemmy now going to find Drake. It's all falling apart in this particular round, but it is a force with just that op up, so we'll see if Skylar can hold on to it. He's in a tight position, and it's not even going to be possible. Slemmy closing it out. Flawless victory for SKDC, and it's now 1 round the difference as we enter round 28.
So even though they had the AWP in hands, that they didn't choose to force buy there, actually made a very wise choice in my opinion. They could have opted to force buy with it, but they wanted to work with the AWP on itself, see what it could do, and look to the future. They know that they need 1 round here, and now all of a sudden, SKDC, I think for the first time really have the AWP in their favour. Slemmy's going to be taking it now, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes with it. He's taking it to the B bomb side. I said this before, this is a great place to take it. Once he gets information, you can go back and have 4 players on A. So let's see how this one pans out for them now. Obviously, a huge round for both teams.
I want to see if Ellis can get this first pick on Dumore because they haven't been winning this underpass fight. There was no one top mid. I thought he might go directly toward it. Doesn't quite work out that way, so we stay as we are.
Look at Slemmy as well. He's pushed up all the way into the B apartments. They know an A side's coming, and it looks like a full-on wall of smokes will be coming in from the terrorist side. It's just a matter of when it does come.
When is a matter of seconds as Dumore now finds that first pick on Ocean. This will give the entry. This will give the exact position to go through, but it's Stewie2K who manages to get inside the ramp, takes down 2, and SKDC might have done enough, but it's not over yet. There's still a man down as Dumore continues to rein in on the A side, and oh, he showed his head. Ellis popping up at the wrong possible time gives Skylar the chance, and it's going to be match point for LunatiK. Have they done enough to close this out and force map number 3?
What a crazy round that was. As soon as the execution came in, we saw Stewie run down there. Big ballsy play from him. Takes down 2, but it's not enough. Unfortunately, this is it now. Look at Stewie just running through all the flashbangs, all the chaos going down. Really good stuff. Got the bomb down as well. If he got that third kill, that would have been it. But they managed to come back into it, and now it is map point for LunatiK, and it's a huge round. You can see the AWP will be out on Ape, but both teams being very tentative now. CT's pushing up onto short, maybe going for that first pick. They're going to boost the AWP up now and see what they can do with this.
And the scout is in the right spot. 2 scoped weapons up. Ape with the AWP. Ocean in the jump spot. Slimy, he's boosted here before. The last time he did, they actually walked directly into him. This time there's no mid presence, so a change of strategy for LunatiK, and so far they've gone a man down as Ape finding the opening pick from CT, but it's responded equally so with the AWP as Invert now finding Stewie. What a good pick to have, as Stewie has been a player with so much impact in this game. 21 frags, second on the team. Slemmy's the top. He's gone now too. Things are unfolding for LunatiK to close this up with the 1-man advantage, but also a lot of position on A. Drossel going to put this bomb down, and Drake, his positioning forward of the window makes things even harder. As Ellis now goes out, Ape and Ocean have to pull off an incredible retake, and the problem is they've got Drake on their back foot. They're going to go for this flank, not even going to get there. LunatiK will force game 3. We're never going to get to sleep tonight.
I don't think so.
Not that I'm complaining. This is definitely something worth staying up for. 16-13. What a performance from LunatiK. After a slow start to their CT, it's finally their T side coming through.
Yep, we thought going into this wasn't their pick. They maybe struggled going into it, but their T side was actually very convincing. Good execution from them, making sure they won some big rounds as well. Didn't seem to get too rattled by any sort of ecos. We've seen him a lot going down to some force buys before. They actually held their cool throughout that campaign. That was very good to see. So good stuff from them, a good bounce back, and we do go into the third map, which is it D Inferno, I believe?
It is DE Inferno.
Good.
They do knife for sides as well. We saw what that did in the first matchup. It also is very, very economy-based. So if anyone gets a spread and starts to break specifically the CT side, we could see an interesting game. Both teams have now had decent C sides. We'll take a short break. We'll come right back. It's deciding who moves on to the finals to play against Method, because if you didn't join us earlier, they did knock 3SUP out of the division, out of the PGL qualifier. They wait for the best of 5 tomorrow evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So I'm actually liking him a lot more. Great tactics.
He did that yesterday, too.
I know. I don't think I've met him before. Maybe he wants to be my friend.
The one to do so from the top of the ladder room. Another kill for him. Dumore following in his footsteps. He's looking all right. Ocean pushing forward. So this round looking very comfortable. The round loss bonus, but also that they only lost 1 player. They'll start to shift the economy. Very good lineup for Drake. Jump, dropping on the fire, still leaves the window open, and that's where Stewie tries to head, but Dumore plays this perfectly. He played so well last evening. Tonight we haven't seen much from him in the first map, but starting to come alive. And Drake now with his double leaves Ocean, and Dumore finding him as well. Thank you very much, Dumore. Calm down, but win that duel against him, because post-plant situations will go his direction. They won't even get the post-plant, and it's going to be all him. So far, that initial Molotov does a good job. That bomb's dropped on top of the van now as well, so I don't even think he saw it, but it makes things on.
SKDC can do. Maybe they can push up middle or stack an area. They play us like a normal round.